This podcast contains explicit language and is intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions of Gentlemen No Class are strictly for comedic purposes and should not be taken literally. For instance, like this disclaimer. Now grab yourself a pint and enjoy.
Welcome to another episode of Gentlemen No Class, a podcast that when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro.
You're Jacob.
Oh yeah, I'm Jake.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Rob.
And like it or not, gentle ladies and you sexy gentlemen, we are the host of tonight's podcast.
Very doubtful.
Yeah.
I like to renounce my character for who I have been starting now.
And who's your character?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, not Paul and Hal Jinky.
And hell.
Oh my god! I can't believe she said. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
during when I graduated in high school, the English teacher, right?
Yes, it was the English teacher.
She saw me, I guess, and then just saw my skin tone and then, my last name. And she had to say, instead of Angel,
this is going.
She said Angel. I'm like, oh, God, really? He's like, you just say Angel. That's fine. That's what it says. Don't need to humor me.
Because she knew you weren't a fucking angel.
Well, you got to say all, Angel-like and shit. You had... Yeah.
Damn, that's a hard
I don't know.
one.
That was just, story over. That was it.
I've been revisiting old episodes.
Good for you.
So, we talked about this like off air, but like I think everybody needs to know. Like, been listening to some of like the older episodes. I was telling Paul that like episode 7, like that we did with the Corvette Summer review, like the cut and paste of Corvette Summer, and Marcelo and Ruben were in the room. Like that was right before Hurricane Harvey. Like.
Oh.
It was like right before Hurricane Harvey. It was like August 15th of 2017, I think.
What? Are you sure? Because we did 3 more episodes after that, or 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 is the last one we did before it happened. I'm
just saying, like, that's what happened. Like, we may have recorded after the hurricane, but, like, we took a break for however long.
Yeah, it was like 6 months.
We were doing Raph Reads the Classics on that episode. Oh. And then, there's a bit on there. I'm gonna find it and cut and paste it somewhere because there's a bit that Paul fucking he insults Raph about something. Raph, like, he's like, no, this is the segment everybody wants to hear. Raph eating chips or something like that. And like he's the way that whatever the quote is that Paul insults Raph with. I literally it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm out on a jog, and I stopped and laughed loud as fuck in the middle of the street. It was so fucking funny.
What's wrong with this guy?
Pulling Paul's off. Usually I do that, but I had no headphones on, though. That's the difference.
Yeah, you had the shit loud on your speakerphone?
Yeah. No, it's just my thoughts, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what's new? Anything?
Pussycat?
Couple Batman things.
Yeah?
They cast
I
John Turturro
as
Carmine Falcone.
Really?
Matt Reeves' Batman.
Okay.
Carmine, yeah.
So, and then
I'm okay with that.
I posted that deal the other day about on our Instagram and our Facebook that they had confirmed the Todd Phillips Joker sequel.
Jesus.
But then it was only the Hollywood Reporter had reported
fake
that.
News,
yeah,
right?
Fake news. So because Todd Phillips came out and said no, that wasn't confirmed. But he didn't unconfirm it. He just said it wasn't. He didn't say it wasn't happening. He just said that particular news report was false.
They probably were talking about it over dinner, and someone overheard.
Still kind of good then.
It's in the air. It's in the universe, and it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen.
Well, I'm not doubting that, but I still.
I say the chances of it happening are more than not. To be honest with you.
Maybe. I'm not arguing with you. You're probably right. I just don't want it to happen.
No one asked if you wanted it though. That's the thing. I'm just saying.
Where I stand on it.
I know. Of course, I know where you stand on it.
It's just beautiful to leave it the way it is.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna make they're gonna make a Joker sequel, and then they're gonna make the Joker a woman.
Well, they
yeah.
Well, they probably thought about
and
that.
Then they're gonna get mad at it for not doing well.
Well, that's what's gonna happen to Birds of Prey because it already looks terrible, no matter who's in it. And
What is that?
The Harley Quinn like female villain movie that's coming out.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't want to see the trailer.
It's gonna be fucking terrible.
Is there a trailer already?
Yeah, yeah, dude. There's like 2 trailers in there.
Right. I don't know.
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey. Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
But to comment on what you
just
said,
calling
Paul,
it out.
like they probably said the same thing with Godfather, and they made Godfather Part 2, which I wouldn't say it's better, but it's right there with it.
Yeah,
I've never
I
seen
haven't seen any of the
So
Godfathers.
now
yet.
Godfather is the best movie
I know.
out there.
My dad gives me shit about it.
Oh,
too.
does he? Okay, good
There's-
for him.
there's a-
yeah. I'm with Cliff right here.
There's a bunch of movies that I need to see, like Heat and Casino.
Whoa,
and,
you haven't seen Casino?
Casino,
Casino.
my God, I never get tired of that. Whoa.
Heat,
Whoa.
okay. I mean, Heat's great, but Casino, man, you got
Yeah,
I think Casino's over Heat for sure.
Yeah, Heat. I've tried to watch it, but I could never finish it.
It's long.
It's long. I don't mind that. But
Godfather's
it's not
long too. So
I,
yeah.
well,
I haven't
to
seen
me,
Godfather.
I guess
I've seen
it's not
parts.
flowing
I've
to
seen
me,
parts
Heat.
of it, but yeah, I haven't seen that.
there's a YouTuber that has that shit on loop on his screensaver, and I stole that from him.
What?
Godfather. So I know that shit line from line because every time I get on my computer, it's on like Act 2 or something, and I'm just like, I just sit there and
that's
watch
cool.
it. Like, oh shit!
It's
I
just
got work
wait.
to do, you know?
You have the film
I have the film on
loop
as a
is
screensaver.
Is it on your Vudu account so I can watch it?
Yeah,
Okay.
all 3 of them.
Nice.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, I want to do that to a movie.
Yeah.
Probably Groundhog Day.
That's a good
That'd be
one.
funny
That is-
because it's Groundhog Day.
Exactly. Over and over. I love that movie.
Also, there was I don't know what movie it's oh, that's right. That's what it's doing. They're doing on the CW. They're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths.
No.
on the Arrowverse.
Really?
That's what's going on right
No
now.
idea.
And Kevin Conroy
Nice.
is coming on as a live version of his version of Batman.
What?
Or Bruce Wayne.
Really?
Yeah, Kevin
That's awesome.
Conroy is cameoing as Bruce Wayne.
That's badass.
Is that the
Animated
voice?
series.
Voice of the animated
Right.
series, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Nice.
He is Batman.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
He's the only one that can
Grew up on
talk
that
like
shit.
Batman and be Batman and
Bruce Wayne too.
talk like Bruce Wayne and be Bruce Wayne.
So time out.
And not sound like
He's
you're
going to act as Bruce
Trying
Wayne?
too
Like,
hard.
him and himself?
yeah, himself.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. I'll roll with it. Yeah, okay.
So that's my Batman related news that I have collected for the
Great.
last couple of weeks.
Well, just to sidetrack on that,
Okay.
shifting genres a little bit, but when I was younger, I would look forward to Fridays because TGIF was on, and I watched some
Travis was talking about that.
Boy
earlier.
Meets World, Family Matters, and all that stuff, right? But
Right.
now it's like, and there's a big gap when TGIF went off the freaking broadcast, and now with Disney Plus, I'm looking forward to fucking Fridays now because Mandalorian.
Because
and-
Mandalorian.
I
haven't seen any of the
I
episodes.
fucking saw
yet.
episode 3 today, like
Oh,
right when I
don't
got
say
home.
shit, 'cause I
I'm not
actually
gonna
wanna
ruin
see
it.
it. It does look good. I've seen
haven't seen
parts
it.
of it.
Have you
but
seen the first 2 at least?
Oh, yeah, I've seen the
Okay,
first 2.
Okay. God damn it, Paul.
I know. Well, I'll catch up. Well, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So
TGIF.
yeah. Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that.
What do you think
Never
about the
mind.
Mandalorian so far?
Honestly, I'm hooked. Like, I get home from work and I watched it. It got me. It kind of reminds me. It gives me that feeling of Rogue One. Like the reason why I like Rogue One. I wasn't a fan of. I mean, it was okay. The new Star Wars, 7, 8, and I guess 9 is coming out.
Yeah.
But it does something to me. Like it's like a little bitter taste in my mouth when I watch those episodes. Now, Rogue One, I didn't get that taste. And this Mandalorian, I don't get that taste.
You said episode 9. I've heard bad things about it already in test screenings.
See,
Did
and
you hear
that
about
sucks. And that sucks.
That sucks because I mean it's
haven't
honestly
heard that,
like
no.
it's
7
going to
was
be
okay.
really it's
8
going to be
was-
really hard to follow up The Last Jedi because it was so bad.
Yeah,
like
8
it's going
was
to
not
be
that
really
good.
really terrible. And
It seems like
Last
the main
Jedi was entertaining, I
storylines-
think, for me. You
Yeah.
don't think it was entertaining
No.
at all?
I fell
Not
asleep.
Really?
Honestly, in the
Oh,
theater.
wow,
Yeah,
that's terrible.
I'm not trying to trash it. It just
No.
it wasn't piquing my interest.
It didn't do it for you, for sure. I thought it was entertaining at least.
Yeah.
But
Shirtless Kylo Ren.
there you go.
Eric Sutherland. There were so many memes when that came out. It was so fucking funny.
So you would rank, I think, Force Awakens like the top notch of that trilogy, right?
Of that
So
trilogy,
far.
yeah.
So
here's,
far, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the only set photo that exists of Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, okay,
Crisis on, and Brandon Routh
can
is
do that, I
Brandon Routh is coming back as Superman, as one of the Supermen
Really?
for it's Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, I don't know if they're getting Henry Cavill or Batfleck or anything like that
Yeah.
to come on
Batfleck.
there, but that'd be cool.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Oh my
What's his
God.
name from Smallville's coming playing Superman also.
Oh, nice.
What is up with
That's
this?
fucking badass.
I looked up just the Birds of Prey on YouTube,
It's
and
garbage.
I'm looking up the clips,
it
the
looks-
pics of it. Just I haven't clicked on it, and just Harley Quinn's face, like, it just looks hilarious. Look,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
she
terrible.
doesn't look like she's
It's
enjoying
terrible,
herself.
man.
She looks like she's
How
crying.
could you? If
She doesn't even-
you were, I mean, you could tell, like, just in the trailers, just like, God, she looks like she's contractually obligated to do this.
Yeah,
Right,
like
that's
she
it.
really doesn't want to.
Now,
do
would
it.
you prefer, like, on the silver screen, obviously we see this Harley Quinn, but would you prefer the Jester like Harley Quinn?
It depends on who the Jester Harley Quinn works with the madman clown. Of Joker,
Right.
like that juxtaposition works when they do like the whole like comic book thing where like all the henchmen are dressed as whatever, and then everybody else is doing, you know what I mean? Like they're all like in that theme, like that comic booky theme. Yeah, that
Right.
works. It's fine. I mean, this version of Harley Quinn, it's not terrible. The tattoos are throw it though.
Right.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what throws it for me like completely. That's
Yeah.
what I lost. That's where Jared Leto's Joker lost me.
The ha-ha-has everywhere. Yeah.
Like who? Like because you think you know why that throws me? Because as a person with a lot of tattoos, like you have to think about like this guy. You're telling me that this psychopath sat down in a tattoo chair and said, "Tattoo ha ha ha" on my shoulder, and whatever is fucking tattooed on his fucking.
Well, I'll do you one better though.
Bullshit, blessed.
I'll do
I
you-
know.
I don't know what
that's
it
not on
says.
there, but that'd be hilarious. If
Yeah,
it was.
I mean,
I'll do you one better though.
oh, it says damaged.
Yeah.
Tattoo damaged on my forehead. Come on, that's.
I'll do you one
fucking
better.
bullshit.
Since you're sleeved out on both of your arms, Rob, where's your grill? Because every tattooed guy has a grill, right? Based on the Jared Leto
Talking about,
Joker.
Like, okay. Yeah.
I'm about to say I'm not Post Malone.
Riff Raff
Like,
or Riff Raff
The riffraff. There you go.
right here,
I went-
Copperfield.
I went to high school with him.
That's right. I forgot. I feel sorry for you. I guess.
Well, are you watching YouTube videos?
Well, I'm not. I'm talking to you at the same time. No.
And this is Gentleman No Class, guys.
I'm trying to watch this
ultra no
Harley Quinn
respect
fucking
is what that is.
Gentleman
trailer.
No Respect.
It's
There
so
you go.
bad. It's not even. I can't even fucking maintain.
It's terrible.
focus.
Don't watch it.
Yeah.
Like the
I'm almost
only
done
thing
with
I
it.
like about it is that like in the trailer it shows her with the hyena pets. That's kind of cool. That's a throwback to the animated series.
And
But,
what?
I
What
mean,
does it say?
It's it's like Suicide Squad. It looks
Yeah,
like an all female version of Suicide
it is,
Squad.
yeah,
Is what it looks
yeah.
like.
Rosie Perez.
See, and hopefully this whole Todd Phillips thing works, and they're throwing like or having him do origin stories. That'll be kind of cool. And if that is the case,
Harley Quinn.
yeah.
That's the long ass title name of the
I don't
fucking
even
movie.
know.
That's
I
what
haven't
it
even gone
says
that
right
far.
there.
Yeah, I didn't even get that far in that.
Yeah,
You didn't get that far in the trailer.
The trailer, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, I fucking turned it off.
No,
It's
but like
garbage.
if they throw this project to Todd Phillips and he's able to create more character origin movies, who would you like to see on the silver screen?
Oh, that's a good question. Who would I like to see Todd Phillips do an origin
Yeah.
story for?
Yeah,
Any comic book.
Since he made
character.
$1 billion on the Joker, just saying.
Okay.
Over
He's got a
Endgame.
pool now. He's got trust.
He didn't make $1 billion
I
over
know.
Endgame.
I like jabbing you, man.
Whose origin story?
Bear me, man, please. A couple of them.
Yeah, grab a couple of Millers and put
yeah,
them
I
on
think
here too.
Miller's and,
I'd like
I'm
to.
sorry. No, grab some Eureka Heights, sir.
Well, Evan's been on vacation, so
Oh,
we
okay,
haven't had a
okay.
chance to restock the fridge.
Hey, you had any water? Sorry, go back. Sorry,
I
Rob.
don't-
Go ahead.
yeah, there's a bottle of water in there.
Yeah, so,
That's a
origin
good
story.
question. I think that I would like to see Todd Phillips do. I think I would like to see him do a couple of things. I think I would like to, I think I would like to see him do. I think I would like to see him put in charge of doing the original Justice League like the formation of the original Justice League, like without redoing anything except Batman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that Batman needs an origin story. I mean, I don't think he does. Like, it's been told too many times.
Yeah.
I think that you could do.
We get it already.
Like
yeah,
Spider-Man.
but I think,
right? I remember you mentioned
exactly.
that.
Like, Tom Holland worked in the MCU without having an origin story because you know what? Everybody knows who fucking Spider-Man is. We already saw that. I'd like to see him play around with like a Martian Manhunter origin story.
Nice. Okay.
I'd also really like to see him do a Wolverine origin story.
Yeah. Well, not you talking about you like the original origins with
No.
with what's his name
Juggernaut?
Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber.
Yeah.
Ooh, shiny.
I would like for him to do like a Dead Man origin story with what's the name? Is it Boston Brand? How he's
look at me.
it's kind of like Robin. He was like a trapeze artist, right? Okay.
Trapeze, eh?
I don't know the whole story, but I remember reading some of the books, and it's very interesting. He's dead, but I mean he's like a zombified.
I mean, there's a lot of characters that you could like explore more in depth and like really get like some really cool backstory on.
Right.
And that the movies but like a lot of the movies that are already out, like they've done a lot of these characters and like already fucked them up. So like you already have a bad taste in your mouth for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody's ever really done a Joker origin story. So that's why like that movie's so good. You're like, it's a new story.
Good
You've
point.
never seen it.
Good point.
You know what I mean? Like, so you have to, if you really think to like, okay, what character do we want to see an origin story of that we haven't seen? Like,
Yeah. Maybe a Nightwing origin story.
Or a Red Hood origin story.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be nice. No, I do know I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but if they do the Joker 2 movie, this is the way I would like to see it. Just me. You want to
see him. Maybe it'll skip forward and it'll be like like when he kills Jason Todd.
Well, see, okay, so you've seen American History X, right?
Yeah.
It kind of goes with Godfather Part 2, where it kind of jumps ahead in present tense, and maybe the opening of the movie can be him being feared by all the gangs of Gotham. How did he get on top of the crime, scene? But then it also does flashbacks of him building that empire. And it kind of goes back and forth like American History X, right? So that'll be kind of an interesting story concept, I think. I don't know how they're going to do it, too, if they do it, too. And I kind of know where Paul's coming from. They probably shouldn't, because if it is bad, it's going to ruin the first one, I think, You know what
I'd like to see Todd Phillips do?
Leave it alone.
The story that I really want.
Shut up.
The story that I want to the story that I want to see told.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to give him I want them to give him a Star Wars movie, and I want him to do Knights of the Old Republic.
That'd be kind of cool. Was he? Man, okay. So are we really like praising Todd Phillips so much because of this Joker movie?
Who
the
the
royal,
fuck we?
The royal we.
Yeah. But I mean, like, okay, he did Hangover, right? But what else did he do?
But
that's pressing.
But when you watch his movie, like the storytelling is so good.
Did he do 2 and 3, or did he just do the first one? Because 2 and 3 kind of suck.
The first one was good.
Yeah, first one's good. Okay, I give you that. But comedies are usually.
Too.
Oh, did he do Wedding Crashers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fucking phenomenal movie.
He did. What's it called too?
It's a phenomenal movie. I
What's
love that movie.
that Old School?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know he did that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Fucking hilarious.
He's great on comedies. He's great on throwing the jokers. So, yeah.
Like,
okay.
I would love to see like the origins of the Jedi Order, the nature of the Force, like the Dark Jedi settling on the planet of like taking over the Sith.
Yeah.
And like, the origins of Darth Bane and the, implementing the rule of 2 and like the original, like back to old school, like the origins of the Jedi and the Sith. You know what I mean? That's a story that hasn't been told that I would love to see being told. Mm-hmm. A different angle on the Star Wars universe. 5,000 years before any of the Star Wars movies that we've seen happen. You know what I mean? Like,
man, there's just so much storytelling in the Star Wars universe. Like, I have such a hard on for Disney Plus, man, because now they got Obi-Wan coming out.
Oh, I know.
And I really want to get your take on The Mandalorian, but with Paul having seen it, you need to catch up on it, Paul, because it's really like turning me on the way Star Wars is running with this new series, and then I can only expect high expectations with Obi-Wan. You know,
Yeah. When is that supposed to come out?
I don't fucking know.
But that's supposed to be another show,
yeah,
right?
another series, yes.
Yeah.
It's
That looks that I would watch it. I would definitely watch that.
I'm pulling Rob right now. Why don't you get the fuck off your phone, man?
well. I'm looking at this, like what Todd Phillips has done, and he's listed as producer on a lot of these things that I thought that he directed.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, he did do 2 and 3 of The Hangover.
Okay, directed or produced?
It says produced on all of these.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like everything says produced, and all of them say producer. So none of them say director.
so when the producer comes in and they kind of like get the last call on things, or they kind of just push the flow of things.
I'm not sure.
Sometimes there's more than one too. There's an
Executive producer,
which one's higher though? Producer or executive?
Executive. Yeah, I would.
And see, like it's all like basically. I mean, from what I know, like producers and executive, to what I know, is that they have money invested in it as well.
Oh, nice.
I believe. I could be wrong. Maybe depending on the contract.
Or
they could have been a contract. Like they could have been like because
it was
their concept.
Right. They have so much say so into the project that
Todd Phillips directed 2 and 3 of The Hangover.
Oh, okay.
He didn't do the first one.
He did the first one also, but he also did Due Date. He also did. He did Old School. He did.
That's a good one. Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's a nice little Saturday. We're gonna go home.
He did Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. He did Owen Wilson.
He did Road Trip.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
one.
right. He did do that
that's
one.
A good one.
Fucking, they went to Boston. Yeah, they said they went to Boston.
Texas.
You know that?
Yeah, Texas. Yeah.
You know that?
Boston College. Yeah, Boston, Texas.
Yeah. Just fucking just saying whatever. He's so fucking
You know
mesmerized.
that chick,
that snake.
the black chick that is like, what? You killed a cheetah? Like, because he's like,
What'd you do? Skin a cheetah?
She ended up passing away in real life.
Oh.
Like soon, not that far after.
Oh,
the
really?
movie.
What
Yeah.
scene is that?
Where they go.
He's
to
like,
the,
guys,
familiar.
check it out after they spend the night.
Yeah.
sorority.
And
Oh,
DJ,
yeah, got
DJ
her
Qualls pulls up
underwear.
the panties, and he's
Yeah.
like, guys, check it out. Whew, he's like, oh my god, did you skin a cheetah?
Yeah. She actually passed
She
away
actually
not too far.
died. Yeah, not
Wow.
too long after that movie.
She don't look that old.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's what being overweight will do.
Yeah, I think she had cancer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's what cancer will do. That's I mean, it's the truth. I'm not to be morbid, but
Yeah, I mean, it's
Just like
that is true.
Steve Urkel's girlfriend in Family Matters. Yeah, I think she had breast cancer too.
really,
Yeah.
Really?
Myra.
the other nerdy looking
Yeah.
one, right?
The one that was infatuated with Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
With the big tits.
How old is she?
I don't know.
What Reginald Vell Johnson, the dad on there?
Carlo Winslow.
Carl Winslow.
I think it's Reginald White.
Carl
Is
Winslow.
it no? Is it?
Yes.
No, it's Reginald Vell Johnson.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
No, you're
Bet
right.
you a beer.
You're right. It's Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also known as in his other
Can't
police
escape.
role.
More importantly,
In his other police role as in my favorite Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I need backup now. God damn it!
the best
now!
line in there is like, I think he's a badge, sir.
Jesus Christ, pal! It could be a fucking bartender for all we know. Like how we could spot a phony ID. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Great movie. That's another commentary movie.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see how our. So the next podcast that we do will have to be our Christmas podcast. We'll have to. Ryan will be
Christmas
available.
podcast.
Well, we're gonna
Listen
do
to
our
yourself.
commentary on Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's to you, Dad.
Jingle all the way.
We're gonna have to every time. Hey, Jamie, old pal, let me talk to your mother. We're gonna have to fucking rewind that a few times because it's just hilarious.
Talk to your
Fucking prank calls.
My mother.
My mother.
What kind of
What's
sick
this?
son of a bitch are you?
Hello? Yeah. Fucking Arnold prank calls. My God, I never get tired of them.
YouTube Arnold prank calls.
Or, no, more importantly, Miles Bennett Dyson. He turned prank calling into an art form. This guy uses like 2 keyboards. He's got a program, and he anticipates what he's gonna do when he, depending who's gonna call, he's got an idea, and he's just so fast at the keyboard. Everybody thinks it's cut and paste. It's not. If you listen to it closely, he's doing it live. He does a fucking great, and he splices like other lines, and it's just fucking hilarious, man. Like I'm telling, it's not lazy.
So I mean, he does like
He turns it to
dialogue
an art
for Miles
form.
Bennett Dyson.
Who is your daddy? And
No.
Or
He
does he
just
that's his name?
takes the name and he rolls with it, and he just and like who's your fucking daddy, and what does he fucking do? He'll do shit like that.
Oh, nice.
He'll splice. It's just like, come on, don't bull fuck me. Just fucking hilarious. I'll put like one of my favorites is like, but I hope you leave enough room for my big cock because I'm gonna wrap it down your asshole and break your goddamn back. Like splice so many fucking things. I'm telling you, it's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
You have to have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
To do that and
And
to
appreciate that.
and to appreciate
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's me, man. That's me.
Captain Free Time over there.
It's fucking hilarious.
What else? Current event stuff we got going on?
This, that.
So I got-
Astros
They're
we're not
losing.
going to talk about the
Steelers.
Astros.
They're losing?
Cheaters. Yeah.
They're not. Look, okay.
They're what?
Number one. Yeah. Okay. It sucks. They got caught. Whatever.
Wait. What happened?
For stealing signs, but every
What
major
do you mean
league team,
stealing signs?
They do it.
every major league team does it, and it's not a fucking exact
Okay,
science.
well, back it up a bit because for me, maybe some other people don't know about this.
So the
Explain
Astros were using cameras, and so if you don't know, like the cameras that show on the big screen are on a delay, so that the coaches can't see what pitch is being called by the catcher before it's being thrown.
Right.
Okay.
So what they were doing, they were using a camera, and they had signals to the batters depending on like where the coaches were, and they were whistling and banging on things as they were seeing what the sign was being called to signal what pitch was going to be thrown. Which, if it was really effective, the Astros batting average would have been way fucking higher. So
It's still frowned upon.
It is
right?
definitely frowned upon, but every team does it. The problem is that the Astros got caught doing it.
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly. It's just like a second baseman. That's on base.
I can't imagine what the Yankees have to say about
Yeah.
this.
Well, I mean, they already are suspecting like Boston doing it and everything, but they're going to make an example out of the Astros
Because they're World
really?
Series, because they're World Series champs,
Oh,
and
wow.
they were
Way to
accused of
go.
doing it in 2017 in the
Well-
World Series.
Oh well, fuck it. I'll take it still.
I don't follow sports, so
They're not
it don't
going to pull
matter
our
to me.
championship, so it doesn't. I mean,
No, they can't.
Steve.
but what they'll do is they'll make it so that like our team falls apart. Like we'll have a shit team for 5 years.
Yeah.
What? They're gonna.
Yeah, they'll sanction and levy fines against us to where we can't afford to fulfill the contracts.
That and they may
Oh,
ban
that's it.
the manager. You know.
Yeah,
Astros
they
fandom
could-
over.
They could ban AJ Hinch from the league. I mean, then
Is this pretty new?
Yeah.
it's been in the last
2
3
weeks,
weeks.
yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't know. It's new to me.
Yeah. So
We stop. Well, never mind. Watching
We'll see what
Pornhub.
happens.
Maybe
Yeah,
I
you'll
don't
get
watch
some
that
news.
shit. I fucking
I don't watch it. I immerse myself.
immerse myself in it. Yeah, I'm in it.
Oh yeah.
So
Terrible.
what we were going to talk about is tonight is kind of like a live current event kind of thing going on that's been going, in the news. It actually goes back to like 96.
Yes.
So we were going to talk about the stay of execution that was granted for Rodney Reed and kind of talk about the Rodney Reed case and kind of just lay the facts out there and get everybody at the table's opinion, like where do you think what happened, all that kind of stuff. Like, so do you...
Well, the reason we brought this topic was because today is November, the 22nd?
22nd. He was supposed to be executed on the 20th.
So we were either going to talk about the execution or if they actually prolonged it and
Yeah.
stay of execution.
So there's this all kind of boils down to like whether or not Rodney Reed was framed for this, whether he actually did it, which there's some. I can see like there's definitely probable cause to like why he would have been framed. Mm-hmm. There's definitely probable cause like where he maybe didn't do it. And then there's a lot of things that like have come to light in the last like as these things have been going on, like things have come out that people that like famous celebrities and stuff that were endorsing him have rescinded their endorsement because of evidence that was brought out after that. So we'll kind of just we'll just give everybody, in case nobody knows what we're talking about, because not everybody knows the details of this story. This detail the story revolves around the murder of a 19-year-old girl in Bastrop, Texas named Stacy Stites. Sorry, Stacy Stites. It was back in April of 1996. Stacy Stites failed to show up for her early morning shift at H-E-B grocery store. So they... one of her coworkers called the police when she didn't show up, and then they initiated a search. They found Stacy's fiance's pickup truck, which she had been driving at Bastrop High School at about 5:30 a.m. By about 3 p.m., police had received a call reporting the discovery of a woman's body in the bushes next to a dirt road behind Bastrop High School. So the police were on site, and then she was officially pronounced dead at around 6 p.m.
Right.
Initially, the identity was not announced by the police, but it was confirmed by H-E-B to be their missing employee, Stacy. Mm-hmm. According to the officials, and this is where some of the important details are. According to the officials, Stites had been raped, possibly beaten in the pickup truck, and then strangled to death with her own belt sometime between 3 and 5 a.m.
A 2-hour time frame.
2-hour time frame. She was also sodomized, which appeared to have been done during or after her strangulation. When she was discovered, Stites was wearing a black bra and jeans, and her shirt was found wadded up nearby. Her body had been partially burned. Part of the belt that had been used to kill her was found near her body, and the other was found near the truck. So the details leading up to this are semi-important, because Stacy Stites, 19 years old, was engaged to a police officer in Bastrop, Texas. Right. Her fiance claimed that he had last seen her around 3 a.m. after they had showered together, and then she left for work.
No. So the fiance had a shower with her at somewhere vicinity of 8 to 9. She went to bed. He gave her a back rub. She went to sleep. He went to the living room, watched TV. Around 9 o'clock, fell asleep. Now, he claims that Stacy usually gets up around 2:50 in the morning to get ready, leaves the house at 3:15 to get to her 4 o'clock in the morning shift at H-E-B. Now, when he was questioned, he said that's usually the routine. Then they asked, was he awake during that time? He didn't see her leave because he was asleep. So one of the red flags is, so how do you... And he also said, well, Stacy really doesn't eat breakfast. Well, how do you know she doesn't eat breakfast in the morning? Because you didn't see her leave. You don't ever see her leave because you're asleep in the morning.
Well, to play the devil's advocate on that, like in this house, we talk about what the fucking groceries are and what I'm going to need for breakfast. So, right. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he knew what she was eating for breakfast. Right. If not, and if she says, I don't eat breakfast in the morning, he would know that. You know what I mean? So, like, you live in the same house, you're going to know, like,
each other's habits.
You're going grocery shopping for each other. Like, you're going to know.
But that's just a little thing. That's not even.
That's what I'm
exactly. I don't get what you're saying.
We're just going to, like, we'll pick apart, like, each contradicting piece of the story.
But the whole case, it revolves around a guy's testimony of what his girlfriend at the time did while he was asleep.
Fiance,
actually. Exactly, fiance. Fiance. Did what she was asleep. While he was asleep. Go ahead, Paul.
It doesn't really matter, but I just thought about it when Rob was explaining it earlier. Like, when she didn't arrive for her shift, it's kind of, I don't know. They said they called the police.
her coworker called the police.
That'd be kind of
that's the from I think from the official police report. What happened was, and this is the official police report is I don't have that in front of me, but I think what initially happened was they called the boyfriend and asked where she was. She wasn't there, and he put out an all points bulletin on his truck. And then the police were looking for the truck.
Then
then they found the truck at Bastrop High School. So,
and then that's when they called. Okay,
then
I thought it was
took them 12 hours to find the body.
Yeah,
which is also weird because it was right behind the school. I mean, so anyway, as things go on, things start to unfold. Some witnesses come forward. Basically, like at that point, after they had found that she had been allegedly raped and murdered, even though the autopsy said that there was no forceful penetration of the vagina, so it looked like the official report reported it as, yes, there was semen found, but it appeared to be consensual sex because there was not any forced penetration.
Forced penetration, yeah.
So, but she was sodomized with something
like a baton,
yeah, a cylindrical object.
No,
they think it could.
No, in the case they say that she was sodomized. They didn't bring up anything about it could have been a baton or some other object in the case. They did not bring that up. They just brought up that she was sodomized. Later on,
was it theorized?
Later on.
Okay. So, as time goes on, they find the DNA evidence that was left in her matches this young man in town named Rodney Reed, who they had his DNA because of another conviction. Rodney is picked up by the police, and it is handed off to the state troopers. So the state trooper or the Texas Ranger, the state troopers.
I forget who they handed him off to.
Yeah. Anyway, so they take over the case, and he's being questioned by the state troopers. He initially declines knowing Stacey Stites. He says, "I don't know this girl," right. and being that he's a young man of color, he's an African American man. He was distancing himself from the story because, in his words, he was like, I don't want to admit that I know this dead white girl, and I thought they were. He was under the impression that he was being picked up for drugs.
Yeah.
Right.
His cousin was the one that told him, like, because when he heard,
you
saw
better
it on
quit
news,
telling people.
He's like, I know that girl. Yeah, I know that girl. It's like, you better
quit telling people
because you don't want to get yourself involved. You could be lumped in the situation and get blamed for it.
Not to mention that he knew that she was engaged to a white cop,
right?
And Bastrop.
So the theory goes is that her fiance found out that she was having an extramarital affair with Rodney. Apparently they met at a bar, and the fiance worked a lot, and I guess maybe she needed some.
There you go.
Some of that sweet chocolate. Whatever, but anyway, basically, we're talking about mid '90s, small town Texas. You're talking about racist cops, and you can make the point. Rodney declined that he knew Stacey Stites, and then he thought he was in on a drug charge. I mean, he thought that they were going to charge him for the drugs, and he was going to go in for that. And so he was like, "Why are they bringing this up?" Like, so that was his first misstep. That was the biggest thing. His initial declination of not knowing her personally. So now that it's proven that how did his semen end up inside of her. Then he admits that they were having, he met her at a bar or a pool hall or whatever, and they were having an extramarital affair. So now it comes down to who can vouch for the fact that they were having an extramarital affair. So there's a lot of people that are friends of Rodney's and friends of Stacey's that can vouch for that, and he provides names to his defense attorney, his public defender, because he can't afford a private defense attorney. So they start a grand jury decides to indict him on first-degree murder. Now the things start coming together. Like, it doesn't really, like, number one, Rodney had an alibi for the night. But the person who could corroborate that alibi refused to testify because they didn't want to get involved with the racist cops.
Right, they were scared.
Because the guy that was running the case, the state trooper that was running the case, was friends with the police officer that Stacey Stites was engaged to.
Right.
So the theory goes is that, what was his name, Jim, the fiance?
Jimmy Fennell.
Jimmy Fennell found out about the affair between Rodney and Stacey and killed her, and didn't really I don't know that he would have thought anything past that, other than the fact that, like, they found Rodney's semen in her. So, you know, maybe he knew that they would find that. I don't know. But he definitely led the investigation that way, because his initial testimony, and his testimony has been that he was sleeping when she left for work. But neighbors have testified that Jimmy and Rowdy, the cop that's running, is that his name? I think Rowdy, something like that. Who the state trooper that is running the investigation, and two other gentlemen were awake outside, talking by the mailboxes.
2 blocks down.
2 blocks down
from the school.
The night before that, a few hours before the murder happened. So
that puts Jimmy not where he was initially supposed to be,
right?
Which is asleep. He was supposed to be asleep. So.
Yeah.
So now you've got small town Texas cops, basically. So now Rodney's entire defense rested on witnesses saying that he had a consensual relationship with this girl and an alibi. And his defense attorney refused to call any of those as witnesses. 5 people versus the one witness. All you had is the testimony of the fiance saying she wasn't there.
Who was asleep.
Versus 5 people that could place Rodney away from the scene and say that he was having a consensual relationship with Stacey Stites. So,
now outside of that, you also have the lead detective that was running the forensics on the truck, named Ed Samela. Ed Samela had the truck, saw some fluid on the transmission hump and on the passenger floorboard that, after analysis, was labeled as decomposition fluid that comes out of the body. Now, this was on his report, but for whatever reason, which is not clearly stated, he is terminated from the police force. So, when he's terminated, he goes out.
Before you get to that part,
okay,
let's go back to the truck. They look at the truck. The truck is released back to Jimmy within 3 days.
3 or 4 days, yeah.
And then sold, so that the next day he sells that truck.
The next day he sells the truck. Yeah,
that don't seem suspicious at all.
Right.
Yeah. So
the fact that they gave it back to Jimmy after only 3 or 4 days, this is a place where all the evidence is at.
Yeah.
On this truck.
Now, essentially, it's the crime scene.
And the thing about the truck is that they didn't find Rodney Reed's fingerprints.
They found no fingerprints.
None. No, they found fingerprints from Jimmy Fennell
and Stacey.
So Rodney is so clever to leave Jimmy's fingerprints and Stacey's fingerprints, but somehow only wipe down his fingerprints. Yeah. So that's kind of fucked up. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yes, they release it. Jimmy sells it, or Jimmy's father sells the truck the next day. Now,
they still can't prove that Jimmy's father actually completed the transaction.
Really? Okay. I haven't gotten that. But Ed Samela, He gets let go of the police force, even though he was a lead detective on the case. Then he gets killed, or he commits suicide. The thing about that, allegedly, the thing about that though is that the day he commits suicide, he goes to the laundromat or dry cleaners, drops off his clothes. Then he goes to the ATM and pulls 3 $200 withdrawals
in a casino.
Well, hold on. Let's go back a little bit, because after he completes the autopsy, he's fired. No, he's laid off or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's got some time, or he's forced to retire, I think is what it was. So he's living it up. He's got some time before, whatever's going on. So his brother is living with him at the time. So his brother is the one that noted that, he was spending some time at the casinos.
Right.
And he was back home for a little bit, and then go ahead, finish your...
Yeah, you go to a casino, go gamble it up, live it up a little bit. Goes to the dry cleaners, drop off some clothes. He said he'll be back in a couple hours to pick up the clothes. He goes to the ATM, pulls out 3 $200 withdrawals. That's still sitting in his vehicle when he commits suicide. He didn't commit suicide in the vehicle.
At home. It was the cash was on the counter.
Oh, was it in the counter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought it was in the truck or in his vehicle. Okay. So, I mean, when your agenda is to commit suicide, you're not going to go drop off clothes. You're not. I mean, I don't see why you would do that, and I don't see why you will pull out money.
And he had no gunpowder residue on his hand.
Good point. He had no gunpowder residue on his hand, which obviously,
and he shot himself twice
with the left hand. And he's not left-handed. No, I didn't hear it twice.
No, I was just making that
up.
Yeah, he's not left-handed.
He's not left-handed.
His brother says he's lousy with it. There's no fucking way he was able to do that with his left hand.
Yeah, he said he shakes a lot.
So you sell the truck. This guy goes missing after he finds his substance. It's just too many red flags already. Go ahead.
But the investigation into his alleged death was instantly ruled a suicide, and the record's sealed.
Yes. So that's already 2 red flags, right? Another one. Fuck! I just lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't know. Just we'll revisit it. Continue.
So,
on to that.
Rodney Reed is taken to trial, and based solely on, basically, the prosecution attorney focuses a lot on what was done to Stacy at her death, and I think it only took, what did they say, like 3 hours of deliberation, and like
3 hours of deliberation. The trial only took 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It took like 4 hours of deliberation to come out with the verdict.
Yeah, of guilty on all charges.
All charges. Yeah,
and then all of his appeals were legitimate appeals, weren't even heard. They were all dismissed.
Right.
So finally, this starts getting some traction around 2010, 11, somewhere around there, because he had his first execution scheduled in 2015.
Right, 2015. Yes.
Yeah. So they ended up getting a stay of execution on that, and a stay of execution on the one after that. Because there's been a lot of people that are like, this needs to be revisited, blah 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 blah. All this stuff.
Yeah, so the attorneys filed the request based on laws passed after Williamson County man Michael Morin was cleared of killing his wife. The law allows attorneys to bring the case back to court if they find new evidence. And that's the reason why in 2015 they asked for the delay in the execution.
Okay.
So the thing about this case is that I heard about this case on another podcast a couple years ago, and I'm like, that's really shitty, right? And then, like everybody else, it just goes in the back of my noodle. I don't even think about it up until. So I'm guilty. I donated a little bit of to the Beto campaign, but I got after he quit. Well, I mean, whatever. But after he quit the campaign trail, he used his fucking platform. He has a list of emails, right? And he used that platform to reach out to those people that were actually fans of him, saying, this guy is on death row. He shouldn't be on death row. And I read it like, Rodney Reed, oh, that sounds so fucking familiar. It impressed me that he's using this fucking platform to reach out to people. And not to mention what fucking Kim Kardashian and Kanye West did. I'm not a fan of them, but for a change, they're using that platform to bring this case out. I mean, you can hate them all you want, and I do. But the fact that they're using their top of the pyramid tier, popularity to get awareness of this caused a number of Republicans to actually
send a letter, bipartisan support.
Yeah, to send a letter
to Greg Abbott.
Yeah.
So and he was granted a stay of execution, early in the day on Wednesday.
Right.
So,
but another red flag. It came back to me. The doctor, Bernardo. I forgot his name, but he's the one that said, "Yep, there's semen in there, and it's fresh, and it's pretty much it's Rodney Reed's, and it's also in the anus." Well, what they don't realize is that, for one, when they took the body to do the scanning of the body or whatever, there was never a chain records exchange amongst everybody else.
Evidence,
yeah. So whenever you're looking at the body, you got to sign something. Someone else looking at the body, you got to sign something. They hand it off, right? But there's never a record of that. And then he comes back. He says that if they would have told me that they're going to use his ruling of what he witnessed and what he examined as evidence against it, he says now that he wouldn't have said it. But now he comes back and says, that semen was actually somehow 2 weeks earlier or a couple days earlier instead of the actual day of. So he kind of goes back on what he says.
Yeah, because he goes, there wasn't enough of a fresh sample.
There you go. Yeah.
To pull DNA off of. They were only able to pull 3 live sperm. So he was only able to get 3 live sperm, which indicates that it was probably the day before or the day before that, 1 to 2 days prior. That's why he said it was fresh, but he means fresh in the sense that he was able to get live sperm instead of dead sperm. So the basic theory is that Stacy had sex with Rodney the day before that.
Well, there was also a comment about one of the investigators mentioned something about the ligature. How do you say ligature marks, and if it was like impression ligature that caused her death or like strangulation ligature, and he was justifying, well, it could have been this and that, and when he was cornered, the doctor, Bernardo or Menardo, whatever his name was, says, well, I just guessed. So it's like
fucking lazy.
Like you just guessed on someone's on death row. Death row. It's like that's
somebody's livelihood.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like this whole thing reeks of
conspiracy.
Well, I'm not even conspiracy. I mean, you were talking small town white cops versus a black guy that was fucking one of the white cops' girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like it
shitty fucking people.
Yeah, I mean it is
fucking people.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. But also, I mean,
well, can we tap into Jimmy Fennell? What happened to him in 2007?
Yeah, I was just.
Please, I don't know about that.
Well, go on.
So 2007. Obviously, Rodney Reed's in jail on death row. In 2007, he gets a call. I believe it's in Georgetown, and it's a domestic dispute. They're both drunk, so he separates.
You're drunk.
No, all right. No, they're both drunk, and he separates the chick and the guy. He takes the guy to jail. To be honest with you, ex-military guy, and he takes the girl and drives her around. He says that don't worry about your boyfriend. He's taking care of the other cop. Took him to a hotel room to sleep it off because they don't want to take him to jail. He's military, right? They take the girl. Well, he takes the girl to the park. He finds out that she's a dancer, and he's like, "Dance for me, dance for me, Paula." Right?
Yeah.
But he's like, and she's like, "No, I'm not dancing for you." So
Bitch,
he
better
takes
pay
his
me.
he kind of pushes her over the hood, takes his belt off, and tells her, "This is for this is for that." Pulls the gun out, puts it to her head, and rapes her while she's mounted over the hood. Well, it says it took 2 hours. He doesn't know, or she doesn't know that if he finished inside her or whatnot. But she said it felt like it was a lifetime. He gets back in the car.
He raped her for 2 hours?
Yeah, it was a 2 hour stint. I don't know if he was doing it for 2 hours or it took him forever to get up. I don't know. But she said it was like 2 hours. He was off the radar for 2 hours. Like, he turned his shit off, his broadcast, whatever. So takes her back to the apartment and says, "You better not tell anybody about this, because if you do, when I get out of prison, I'm gonna kill you." Like, straight up. The fucked up thing about it, he gives her a business card, his own personal card. Like, if you ever want me to come over, here I am, along the lines like that. But that's the reason why he gave the card. So there's some point of contact.
Hold on. Sorry.
ahead.
He did that thinking
After.
hey, so, if you want some,
Pretty
if
much.
you liked
Because
what I sampled, or like,
I guess he
here
had
you
the
go.
mentality that
What the
all
fuck
strippers
kind
are the same. I guess I don't know.
Sadistic fucking assholes.
So she goes in the apartment, calls 911 immediately, and asks for an ambulance so she can get a rape kit. Well, obviously, they heard the fucking intercom or the broadcast, so the cops show back up. Jimmy Fennell and his other partner show up. She sees them. She bolts and gets on the phone with the 911 and says, "Why in the fuck did you dispatch the cops that raped me? Like, we didn't dispatch any cops. We just dispatched an ambulance only." So they got her cornered. She had no choice but to put up a fight with one of the cops. The cop says, "You're going to jail for public intoxication," and she sits in the jail. Another detective comes in, or another officer comes in, pulls her out 9 hours later, does a rape kit on her and everything. Jimmy, when she pressed charges on him at court, Jimmy took a plea deal, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take the plea deal. 10 years with no emotion apparently." So he admitted of what he fucking did.
Yeah,
it was in 2007. He just got out in 2018. As far as what he's doing, I don't know.
But he also, supposedly, I just read this too, that he admitted that he killed his fiance to another inmate as
the
well.
Aryan Brotherhood inmate inside the prison.
Yeah.
He
I didn't hear any of this.
Yeah, the Aryan Brotherhood member signed an affidavit.
Fucking moron.
Yeah, he signed an affidavit saying Jimmy Fennell actually confided to me and told me.
Yeah.
So it's a signed affidavit of what he said. Now, I mean, who's to say that he's bullshitting, right? We don't know. But, I mean, that's another person.
I mean, the reason why he's in prison to begin with obviously
Right,
tells you he's done this before.
What the victim says that she feels that he could have very well killed Stacey Stites and have done. And when he did that act on her, it felt like he did this too many times.
Yeah,
and he got
he's
away
capable.
with it so many times.
He's done it. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Fucking piece of fucking dumbass. I'll tell my fellow brother he won't rat on me.
Yeah.
You ain't a member of that brotherhood.
half, I guess.
Well,
right?
no. Well, I mean,
I'm not.
that's what,
I'm not speaking. I'm mimicking it.
No,
Jimmy.
that's what I'm saying. Jimmy Fennell, like you're a member of the Aryan Brotherhood.
you.
Like you have to swear some kind of allegiance. I'm sure. Like I mean, I don't know.
Is
I'm
your
not a member,
blood
but
pure?
Yeah.
Use teeth. God damn it.
I mean,
sorry.
Butterfly. The guy that he bragged to is not. Like he has no loyalty to Jimmy. Like just because you're white, like whatever, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So, there's been plot holes. There's been holes in the story for Jimmy. There's been holes in the story for Rodney also.
Yeah.
Rodney's testimony after his saying that, okay, like, yeah, I did have sex with her the day before this, blah, 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 blah. We were having a consensual affair. Oh, yeah. Apparently, like, the people that were going to testify to that have come out later and said, no, like, I don't know that it was necessarily consensual. Like, maybe, like, Rodney was selling her drugs and, like, maybe that was consensual, but, like, maybe she didn't like it that much. And so, like, now it's come out that, like, and this is I read this, and I can't cite my source, so you can completely discount what I'm saying if you want.
I already did.
But
10 minutes ago.
there is the allegation that Rodney Reed is guilty, and he killed Stacy Stites over money. Like, he was meeting her at Bastrop High School to sell her drugs, and she came without money or owed him money, and they got into a confrontation. Like, she would sleep with him and for exchange for drugs, and yada yada yada.
And anything is possible, man, right? But the evidence is there. It also says that Jimmy Fennell witnessed Stacy go to bed at 9:00. Well, when they found the body, your blood pools, and they found like these excrements from decomposition that won't even come to a dead body 24 to 48 hours later. So they also found the marks around the neck where she was already dead and was dragged that way with her own belt. So if that's the case, how in the hell did Ronnie do that in the small time frame that he had? They found the body at what time? 5:30 in the morning.
They found the body at 3:00, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
And she was killed between 3 and 5 a.m.
So it was like 12
they had 12
hours.
Mm-hmm. So that's like 12 hours of decomp.
Right.
Is when they're. Yeah. But it's. I don't know.
There's more red flags pointing the other way than Ronnie. I mean, it doesn't look good that he fucking denied it right off the bat. I mean, sure.
In his defense,
in his defense, I mean, he's a black man in a small white town.
But it also doesn't look good that he also has been charged for sexual abuse in the past.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was charged with sex, but
but
like the asterisk to that is they were all of his baby mamas,
live-in
baby mamas.
Yeah, live-in baby mamas.
And all of the charges were dropped after the fact. So,
which is probably like off reaction, like "fuck you, Rodney, you owe me this money. I'm fucking calling the cops." And
why has it got to be about that? Why you just?
I'm just saying in general. I mean, you don't have that argument with your. You don't have that argument with your wife.
Just stereotypical. You just stereotypical. He's a black man. He must owe some black chick money.
No, it has nothing to do with that at all. No,
your words.
It has nothing to do with it.
I don't know. That's how it came off to me.
I love it when you guys do that to me too.
If you love somebody, why would you call the cops on them? If it's not had nothing to do with money or drugs.
Don't hurt him. I love him. I don't know. Like that's. I mean, it's.
That sounds like me talking.
Bitches be crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, all bitches are the same.
Damn.
Jesus.
Feminist
your wife
much?
doesn't listen to this podcast.
She
I
wouldn't
don't
care.
care.
She probably agrees.
Nah. You're right, honey. She says.
honey, you're right.
Here's $20.
But he didn't do anything, didn't he? Oh, wait a minute. No, he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of red flags both ways, which I'm glad that that the Governor Abbott decided to stay the execution, because I mean, honestly, there are a lot of things, a lot of questions that need answering. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of things were handled incorrectly.
But what bothers me is that if it wasn't the popularity of the podcast I heard this case from, and if it wasn't for Beto or the West, Kanye, and Kim Kardashian, would there be awareness about this case?
Yeah, I mean, you can say that almost anything too, but anybody.
Exactly.
I know.
Who knows?
I'm trying to get at.
So many things that go under the radar.
It's a flawed fucking system.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. After what I went through for my DWI, I saw some fucked up shit. And they don't give a shit about you. It's all about numbers.
You were guilty,
prosecutor.
though.
No, fuck that. The prosecutor.
What do you mean,
bullshit.
fuck that? You were guilty.
No, it wasn't.
You weren't drunk.
No.
You weren't over the legal limit.
No, the reason why they pulled me over, probable cause, that was bullshit.
Okay, why did they pull you over?
They said I was falling a little bit, his words, a little bit too close to the car in front of me, which was no fucking way. If you watch the video, you use a reference point. It was 40 miles an hour. Every 10 miles, is 1 car length. I was definitely at least 5 car lengths away from that fucking car. There's no fucking way I was nowhere near this. The cop even lied, said I was speeding, and it was bullshit. They just wanted to fucking use me and get me in the system so they make fucking money off of me. The prosecutor didn't give a fuck about me. She wanted me to give me the.
They got 10 years of free labor from you, huh?
She wanted to use.
She
wanted to make an example out of me.
Here's a little known fact. You know what the number one offense in Harris County for income
DWI
is DWI. 20,000 DWI cases a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big business.
I admit I was 4 points over the fucking limit, but I didn't.
Hold on.
The reason why
4 points or 0.04.
I'm sorry, 0.04.
So you were at 0.12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my good buddy Brian just got a DWI.
Yeah.
Stop hanging out with you guys.
A week and a half ago. So he was leaving a local brewery.
Who was he there to see? No, okay, we won't get to that. Yeah,
we won't get to that. But anyway, he was. I mean, kind of the same thing. He wasn't swerving or anything like that. He failed to signal on a lane change, and cop pulled him over, and he did a field sobriety test. He said that he said I wasn't that drunk. He's like, he goes, I'll admit I had too many. Like, I don't think I was over the legal limit though, to be honest with you. And he said, he goes, they gave him the field sobriety test, and he said, I'm pretty sure I passed. He goes, I stood on 1 foot for like, the guy told me to count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and he would tell me when to stop. He goes, I got to like 25 fucking Mississippi standing on 1 foot in the middle of the fucking freeway. And I didn't even move. And I was like, well, I mean, shit, I don't know that I can do that sober. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't blow in the breathalyzer, yada, 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 whatever. So,
Seinfeld.
It's one of those things that, like, I mean, you're right. I mean, with that many cases, 20,000 DWI cases a year, that, I mean, it's big business for
yeah. That's all they don't
Harris
They don't care about rehabilitating. It's all bullshit. But we're sidetracking. But that's the point I was just bringing. Like, they don't. Man, it's just. There's just so many cases. There's not even just that. Like, just other people just flying under the radar. Like, you never know. Like, they're just getting completely fucked. But there's no media. No attention, no awareness.
Well,
like you're
how
saying.
many? Well, what you have to realize is
there's so many cases.
Why did this gain media attention now? I mean, it had media attention in 2015, but why did it gain media attention now? Is because there's a very strong chance that he was wrongly convicted, and with the way that with the current climate of this country and things like that, like people are willing to believe that and give him a chance, which is great. But how many people? Let me ask you a question, Jake.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I'm just playing the devil's advocate here, and I'm not trying to do.
No. Go ahead.
So
I'm all ears.
If Jimmy Fennell, is the same guy, Stacey Seitz is the same guy, and Rodney Reed is a white guy, same exact circumstances, do you think he gets a stay of execution?
Who? Jimmy Fennell?
No, Rodney Reed. Do you think Rodney Reed gets the stay of execution granted in this current political climate right now? Do you think that he gets that with all the evidence everything being the same, except he's a white guy instead of a black guy? Do you think he gets the stay of execution?
I would like to think so. I mean, Casey Anthony got acquitted. I mean,
Casey Anthony didn't even
like. I'm being serious.
But that was the original trial. She didn't even get convicted.
Yeah, I mean, all the evidence points that she fucking. I mean, with her search engine and everything.
But what I'm saying is like, if Rodney Reed was a white guy and was convicted originally in 1996, do you think?
Honestly, I would hope so, and I don't think that it would take him 20 some odd years on death row. Why else is it being denied and rolled over so long? Either A, they will put him to death right there in 96 and quit, like kill him right there and then, or the trial wouldn't have never gone that far. You know what I mean? It would have been like a non-guilty verdict, I think.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is like, all things being equal, okay, like if this had gone to trial, like if this had, at the trial in 1996, if Rodney was a white guy instead of a black guy, do you think that he would have been convicted?
Man.
Well, the thing is, too,
with an
about this,
all-white
too,
jury.
with the thing about this as well, the cops, like, they seem like they're covering, they're covering
their own dirt.
Oh, yeah, they were covering
It was
for
a
each other.
group effort.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
no matter what, race or not, like, he got, like...
I think it probably would have been a more
he-
fair trial because...
He wanted that guy fucking dead because he was fucking around with his wife.
Right.
And and they were just helping his boy out, as they say. I don't know. Just,
It would
trying
have
to
been
protect
more,
him.
I think it would have been a more
And,
fair trial. Like either if Rodney Reed was white and he was charged for this, his witnesses would have came out. They would that his attorney would have given him a fair shake. I think if he was white. I think
Being a public defender.
being a public defender, yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's an all-white county. Travis County is an all-white county at the time. I don't know how it is now. But,
It's a little bit more,
Yeah,
it's
but-
not much, but I mean, it is better.
yeah, so
It's a little bit more.
I don't know, man. I
gentrified.
think it'll be a little bit more down the middle, more so. I mean, hey, listen, if you're a cop, you have so much leeway. Being a white cop, whatever. It doesn't matter if you're a white cop. You're a cop. If you want something in a small county like that, your way, and you have all of your fucking friends that are on the force backing you up, it doesn't matter if you're white, Asian, black, or whatever. That's where I think.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, and that's. I mean, we're getting into like. We shouldn't get into like that political.
Right. Yeah,
we
of
should
course,
we
yeah,
should
yeah.
stop talking because like we've gotten in discussions
it's
about
good,
this
it's good.
before. But
Yeah.
I'm just
Good
curious.
conversation.
Is this like I guess like my whole thing is like I mean I guess what Paul's asking is like why don't you hear about more cases like this?
Yeah.
Like how many other people are out there? Like that's why I'm saying like if he was a white guy, would you hear anything about this? Probably not. You know what I mean? Because nobody has sympathy for a middle-aged white guy on death row for raping and murdering another white person. You know what I mean? Like that's basically they were like, "Oh, you're a white guy in a white county with white cops murdering a white girl. Like you had a fair trial. Like period, end of story." You know what I mean? Like, and that's what you would consider like reverse racism. But Rodney Reed, like
Not necessarily. Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is like same circumstances, but Rodney Reed's a black guy. Like that's why this is getting so much attention. I think just because he's a black guy, but also because the circumstances around this really point to the fact that he did not do this.
Listen, if you were to put the same case in an overly populated African American, community, I think it very well can be because you're playing the numbers game. You're outnumbered. You can't take away the fact that he is a minority in a county that's predominantly white, and just right off the bat, it's a lot of. I don't want to say race card, okay? I don't want to.
No, say it. I mean, that's fine.
I don't want to say that, but I mean,
You got to understand, 1996 is a completely different country.
Absolutely.
Okay, so like 96, you're talking about the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky affairs going on.
I thought we were getting along, baby.
But I want to get at is like,
I'll give you some.
what is the numbers?
Please.
What are the numbers of?
I don't know.
Of like cases that are wrongly people that are wrongly convicted based on race.
Well,
Like,
when you look at if you ask the guys, how do you? The problem getting that metric is, like
which one gains the most traction and gets noticed?
No. It's like if you were just, so what you're asking is how many people are in jail, regardless of race, that have been wrongly convicted. Okay, well, number one, you have to like. How do you find that metric? How do you find that metric of who's wrongly convicted? You ask the prisoners. Well, every fucking prisoner is wrongly convicted.
I'm talking about like they actually get pardoned. They actually like, oh no, you're free now. Like, okay,
but that's still a skewed metric because there's so many people that don't get freed that are innocent.
right?
Well, that's I didn't finish what I was talking about earlier. For me, I was saying like, 'cause my case, like I went through so many prosecutors. I went through 11 months of courts dates. It was a fucking lot. It felt like an eternity. But my point I was trying to bring is one of the prosecutors.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
I don't mean to interrupt, and I'm not trying to be rude.
Yeah.
What was your actual blood alcohol level when you got arrested?
0.12.
Okay, so you were over the legal limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But when my lawyer was talking to her and trying to get, just trying to get a deal or see what I can go and do with it, but she simply said she didn't give a fuck about like what I had and whatnot. She's like, I'm gonna give him a maximum, blah blah blah. Like, and she was just being a fucking bitch, and she was just doing it because she wants me to put. She wanted me as a number because she was trying to run for the fucking DA. She didn't give a fuck about anything about my defense. She just didn't.
Like that Denzel Washington.
She's a fucking cunt. I hate to say it.
Roman J. Esquire or whatever it's called.
That's a great fucking movie.
I thought you were going to say Man on Fire.
No,
that's a great movie too.
Yeah, but no, it's just like that movie. Whenever Denzel goes to the prosecutor and like, no, we're hitting him hard. It's a numbers game.
Exactly. They don't.
Everything.
That's what it made me realize. Like my fucking freedom.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
like I know I fucked up, but like some of the things they're saying, accused me was bullshit. And like I still believe the reason why he pulled me over was fucking bogus to fucking begin with. But either way,
the innocent to prove
maybe. But yeah, but it felt like innocent till proven guilty. It certainly didn't feel that way. Bullshit. It felt like guilty till proven fucking innocent.
They'll still throw you in the birdcage and you got to post bond.
They don't fucking care, man.
Free,
they do not care.
Yeah,
rehabilitation, my fucking ass. Yeah. They don't fucking care. They don't want you to.
I mean, prison is for rehabilitation.
Yeah, but that's essentially what they're trying to do, though. Like with the class. The shit they make me go through, they're trying to make me like, so I won't do what I have to.
Did you get a pretrial aversion, or were you like convicted and put on probation?
No. I just got I got a what's it called? It was God, I forgot what the deal was called. I don't even think they offered it anymore.
Deferred adjudication?
Actually, you know what? Maybe no. It was something along those lines. It was actually, you know what? What was that? You said
deferred adjudication.
No, before that,
a pretrial aversion.
Damn it, I forgot. It was a deal, basically for 1 year. Play ball, don't fuck up, and it won't be on my record.
Yeah, that's a pretrial aversion.
There we go. That's it. That sounds familiar.
You didn't never go to trial.
No. Yeah. I could have, but I
took a deal. You took a deal
because
you took a before trial.
Yeah.
A pre-trial aversion of the.
Yeah. Because my lawyer was asking me if I wanted to do
You're
it.
lucky you didn't get a breathalyzer put in your car.
I did 6 fucking months. I had it for fucking 9. They told me my lawyer's like, get it now, and I had it for 3 extra fucking months because they kept dragging it on for court. Like they wouldn't. Everything and the thing about going to court, you got to make sure your prosecutor knows your case, your lawyer's there, the judge is there, everybody. All these factors have to be aligned. If one thing is off, court reset, and you got to hope for the best the next time you go to court that everything is aligned. And that's what dragged it out. Yeah. And I went through so many prosecutors because it kept fucking. The stars wouldn't align, basically. Yeah. It took 11 fucking months.
I remember that breathalyzer. I remember Landon, 3-year-old, blowing in that breathalyzer.
Don't say that on record. You'll get him in trouble. That's a felony. He could go to jail for that.
What?
Yeah, because he was born in 2016 and your DWI was in
2012.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Because if you have somebody else blow into your breathalyzer, that's an automatic felony.
Oh, they can't fucking prove that.
Yeah, I just said it, though.
But he just said it. That's why I'm saying don't say that.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Paul doesn't give a shit. Take him to jail on a felony.
Did you hear all the incriminating shit that Paul said last episode?
About what?
I say incriminating stuff all the time.
Oh, that's true.
And the disclaimer in the beginning
No, actually, you know what?
I
had a camera on there, so like it was always me. They saw me, so I had a camera in there too.
Yeah, so I used to work for Lexus for a long time, and
do you now? Did you now?
Customers would come in with those fucking breathalyzers on there.
Oh, nice.
And they drop their car off and like want you to work on the car, and you're like, you have to. There's a number on there that you have to call and have the company disarm the breathalyzer.
Oh yeah.
And
what? Remotely?
Yeah, they can disarm it remotely.
Oh, nice.
What?
Yeah. You know
I didn't have I don't think mine was capable.
Some of them have codes that you can put in or pins that you like. You call the company and you're like, how do I I have to work on this car because you can't. Like you can't blow into that breathalyzer. Like that's
Yeah.
illegal. Like you
Right.
can get arrested for that. But you would call the company and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, let me unlock it. How long do you need it unlocked for?" Like the rest of today. What time do y'all close? 6 o'clock. Okay, it's unlocked till 6 o'clock. Okay, and then you get there, working on the car. You got to go restart it in a day or two or whatever. And, working on it later. Okay, I got to call the company and a lot of those companies are like, it's one guy.
Really?
It's like Salam Malik's fucking breathalyzer shop or whatever, and like it's one guy that number rings to.
Mine was
like,
Kelly's in Toxalock. I never forgot it. He was cool as shit.
But I mean, like honestly, like to work on those cars, like it's a pain in the ass. Like you have to call. Like a lot of times some of the companies will give you to the end of the day if you can prove who you are, but most of them they'll be like, all right, you have an hour.
Wow.
Oh wow, really?
They'll unlock it for an hour, and then when you need to move it again, you have to call them and get it unlocked for another hour.
This guy was the tech that did mine. He was cool. Like every month I had to get it calibrated, and that basically means they gotta fucking dump the info and they have to send it to my PO once a month. And he was cool as shit. He told me straight up, like, look, if I see anything that that can get you in trouble, I'll knock it off for you. Just let me know.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't know. No, he wasn't.
Tell me 100 Huskies.
No, 100 Huskies. No, he wasn't even like that. He was cool as shit. Like but I didn't. I was like,
you're
no.
incriminating yourself on the air. You know that right now.
No, I didn't. I didn't do anything. I didn't drink though. I was good.
Yeah.
You see those videos of those soccer moms that are fucking blitzed, making their kids fucking like blowing the fucking breathalyzer for
That's
them.
incriminating them. That's
I thought you were
video.
saying
That's incriminating.
I
right
thought you were
there.
saying the soccer moms blowing their kids.
No, this shit is like fucking blowing their kids.
what?
Yeah, soccer moms blowing their kids. He's pouring on fucking.
Not my mom.
Yeah, not my. You know about those, huh? Judging by your laugh, you too, Rob. Let's hear what Melissa has to say.
I don't know about it personally, but I can infer from what you Pornhub. Not my mom. I got it.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody needs to watch it.
So is he guilty?
Oh, Kelly?
No. Rodney Reed. Yeah, who the fuck's Kelly? Kapowski? Hey, can you give me brew me?
Oh,
please?
no.
Light. Give me something light, baby.
No, he's innocent. He didn't do it. What's fucked up is like the things he kind of, his past.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
But regardless, that makes it a little harder for somebody like a jury to ignore that and whatnot. But that being said, despite that, that doesn't mean you did it. If you have that kind of history, even though you think, I know it's a bit touchy, but it's just forget his past and just look at the evidence.
Right.
That's what it's mainly going to focus on. And
and that's the problem. That's when you're lacking on evidence, they try to sensationalize the conviction. And that's what they did because they focused on the anal sodomization for a major part of that trial.
Right.
Go ahead. I mean, you can laugh about it, Paul. That's fine.
No, it's just something about the blowing up of the
18 by 20 picture of the anus.
Yeah, and then the fact that somebody's got to pay.
Yeah,
you know?
The jury was like, yeah, someone
go pay.
Yeah, and 3 hours of deliberation. You are guilty, sir.
Damn.
I mean, we don't need your riffraff like that in our fucking
lazy fucks.
Nice in our nice Austin suburb.
Nice.
Damn, that's fucked up.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I know.
I don't know.
But I don't, probably what they were thinking.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, from
tell your friends to pump the brakes, man.
From all the stuff that I've read
human
so
beings
far,
are incapable of doing such things. So like everywhere else.
Of all the things that I've read so far, my personal opinion is I think that he was maybe not on purpose set up because honestly, I don't think that Jimmy Fennell is smart enough to have realized that he would be convicted from that. But
they also had an alibi. I'm sorry, we forgot to talk about the beer cans.
He did have an alibi. Yeah,
they put beer cans that had DNA
from Jimmy Fennell on them.
No, not Jimmy Fennell. No, it had Ed Samala and his friend the DNA on those beer cans in two.
None of them had Rodney Reed's fingerprints or DNA on them.
It didn't,
and they were around the body.
But they were around the body, and it had it around the Stacey Stites body and another body that happened.
Yeah, that's right. There was another murder
that happened a couple weeks after that, or something like that.
Wait,
but there was beer cans there, and it had the DNA of Ed Samala and this and that. But they're saying that was purposely planned as an alibi, just in case the Rodney shit didn't stick. That they were going to point it at the fucking cops. Ed Small is dead. What fucking...
so like they had a backup plan, right?
He's dead. What voice does he have in court?
Honestly, I think that was probably the original plan. Yeah. And it started going in the direction of Rodney, and they didn't fight it.
Yeah. Well, that other murder...
And they're talking about the guy that's serving jail time is probably innocent. Because it could be...
wait. For that other murder?
Yes.
And those other cops,
something
maybe...
David Loffman or Loffman.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, his name, but whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he's white. You're right. It doesn't matter, right? No.
I mean,
no, but it's the truth though. I mean, if he's fucking wrongly, this might come out with this retrial that's happening, right? So I
don't know that they're doing a retrial. They're just doing a re-examining of the evidence.
I think it did say. Whatever.
Well, whatever. We'll find out, right? I don't know.
I guess where it said retrial, but
I mean, a retrial would be like if he had a mistrial, they would do a retrial. I don't think you would consider it a retrial.
Divert program. That's what it was called.
I think it's just a re-examination of the evidence, and if
if
the Superior Court of the Ninth Circuit, whatever Court of Appeals, or whatever, decides that
that's what I had. Divert program is what it was called, or something like that. But
pre-trial diversion.
Yeah, that's what they called it, though.
So I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to withhold judgment a little bit, but like all the evidence is I think all the evidence is pointing to him being innocent.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he was getting some of that sweet 19-year-old
Tang
piece of ass.
How old was he?
I don't even know.
I think he was 23 at the time.
Okay. It's not that far in age.
There's witnesses that are coming out saying that they saw them together, and one of them called out Stacy, and she looked like she was embarrassed because she was with Rodney, and it was her cousin actually, and she didn't want to introduce that into the family, right? So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's fucked up. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think he's guilty at all.
This is unfolding kind of like in real time, which is kind of interesting. It's not like the 1989 Unsolved Mysteries episodes that I've been watching from.
You've been doing that?
Oh fuck yeah!
What season are you on?
I'm still on season 1, episode 5 or 6.
It's on Amazon.
Great, it's on Amazon Prime.
Prepare for a wave of anxiety after season 2, probably. I'm just guessing, because that's what happened to me. But then again, I was locked up in the house for 5 days because of Harvey, and I was just freaking the fuck out because I haven't got out of the house. I've been watching.
Well, me either. Like I went into a physical location instead of working from home today. Like because I've been here for I think 12 days straight. Like I haven't left the house.
Oh man,
fucking peeing in gallons, jugs
like
and
a
shit.
fish jug.
I have Howard Hughes style.
The electricity and the water works. So why would I do
Ultra.
I go to the gym and I go run, but I haven't gone into the office in 12 days or something like. I don't forget what it is, but like today I was like, man, I need to get out of the house. Like, and I had a good reason to get out of the house. So I was like, I'm just gonna take it and leave. So it was,
Nice.
Feels good to get out of the house.
It does feel good to get out of the house.
You gotta separate it sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I watch videos and movies while I'm working, because it feels like somebody's here talking to me. You know what I mean? Like
sometimes, a good way of looking at
sometimes I'll put stuff on this TV, like on the TV in the middle of the room, and then work at my desk, so that there's just something else going on in the room.
On the night of October, you're responding.
What was that, Robert?
Fucking looking over his shoulder because anxiety's developing.
Yeah.
No, if it's something I want to watch, I watch it. I watch it at my desk. Unsolved Mysteries, I watch at my desk.
Okay,
but sometimes I'll put on I'll just click on the news or something like that,
or whatever.
Man, y'all hating on Letterkenny.
I'm not.
Dude,
I'm not
Letterkenny's so
hating on
funny.
it. It is funny. I just haven't really got into it.
I'm not white enough.
I want to be. What's it called?
White enough?
I think
No.
so. I think that's what he was trying to
I
get.
wanna-
For whatever
Wanna be
reason.
white.
What's her name? The chick. Oh man, beautiful.
Oh yeah, dude.
I want to be insider is what I meant.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
wait till you get
Inside.
to. Wait till you're talking about.
I'm just being polite, right?
You're talking about the sister.
Yeah.
So but
Is penetration possible?
like in later episodes.
Just go to somebody's penetration.
I saw a meme of that. I'm sorry, a Twin Peaks meme, by the way.
Jesus Christ. Fucking David Lynch.
Of course, every episode I gotta bring it up.
So, as you get into Letterkenny more, like when
Yeah.
you get past Katie, like everybody's like, "Oh, Katie's so hot," but then when Bonnie McMurray comes on the show,
Bonnie McMurray.
like everybody when she walks in the stage, all the characters are like, "Bonnie McMurray." Oh. And like she has the hots for Wayne's character, but Wayne, like all the other characters want to bone her, but he's like, don't y'all think you should, like, because she's a little young, a little on the younger side. She's like 19, and they're all, you know, like in their mid 20s. And at the time of the filming of the show, I mean, the show's in its 7th season, so.
Oh wow! Right.
But he's like, he goes, don't you think that you should, you know, let that one marinate a little bit?
Leave that in the oven for a little bit. Yeah, for sure. It's hilarious.
Let it bake a little longer.
Yeah, that's a little too.
But
young.
she's
now.
way hotter than fucking Katie. I
Yeah?
mean, oh my god, dude,
Wow.
she's so hot.
No shit. What's her name again?
And on the show,
Just on
it's
the show, like I'll just
Bonnie McMurray.
Bonnie McMurray. What a name.
She's the sister of the other character McMurray.
Oh man,
John McMurray, whatever. They only refer to him as McMurray, and everybody's like, McMurray's a piece of shit. They always say McMurray's a piece of shit. You've got to watch the show, dude. It's so funny.
I know. Then you're gonna have Paul add another.
She's all right.
Oh,
The other one's hotter to me.
No, she's not.
Yeah, to me. All right.
Well, I mean, I guess if you like, the 12-year-old
on.
boy looking Taylor Swift
What was
looking
that?
chicks, whatever.
Come again.
yeah. There you
You're
go.
describing my perfect woman.
The Josh
No.
Caddy lookalikes.
Yeah, no ass, no tits.
No, she's got an ass.
No, she does not.
To me, she does.
You have a good imagination, I guess.
Yes, I do. And the tits are fine. Leave them alone. Don't need to be that big.
Yeah.
I just barely dive in.
Speaking of ass, have you seen that like GIF that the animated thing of Admiral? Okay, so he's in the ship and there's an ass like shaking. It's Admiral Akbar looking.
I've seen it.
Like turns around like
I've seen it.
No, I have not.
it's fucking ass on the fucking ship windshield.
Fucking
Like,
perfect.
fucking hilarious, man.
So you know
His
what we didn't talk
reaction
about in
to-
current events? We
What?
did not talk about the Cybertruck reveal.
Oh yeah.
This fucking Simpsons. Man.
It cost me a fortune.
The Homer by
Do you think-
or the Elon.
Do you think he fired somebody or like a department or something?
Maybe his brother.
Like, you're in charge of the fucking windows.
His brother runs
trying to say the
Solar
other-
City. Or
Oh, okay. I was thinking
energy.
equivalent to like
But,
Homer.
like,
Circuit City.
Like I
Circuit
was
City.
thinking more along the lines of like after that like when he threw that ball bearing at the window.
Yeah.
Like I was like, did somebody forget to tell Elon that they didn't put the bulletproof glass in the car? Like we only have one piece of it and we're using it over here to test. Don't fucking do that.
Whoops, he says, and
Like,
boom.
or maybe he did. Like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the design. Are you guys fans of that?
Well, like Rob said, it's
don't
supposed
know.
to look futuristic.
I mean,
so
it is.
it was called Cybertruck. I mean, it looks futuristic.
Does
I
it
mean,
come
but
with
there's-
synthwave?
Probably.
Cyberpunk.
You know, I mean, it's not a production truck. So I mean, honestly, like not yet. I mean, there's a lot of stuff missing off of it. Like just barely, at first glance, you look at it, you're like, you can't have those fucking bright ass LED bars on all the time.
Well, why not?
Like, you have to have 2 separate headlights. That's the law in federal law.
It's the law.
But
You have to have 2 separate brake lights. That's the law.
Okay,
Also,
I don't like
it had
that.
no rear view mirror. It had no side view mirrors.
That's cool. Do you ever
so
drive
I mean,
an RV?
all of us, I think, in this wooden table that I built,
This
Magnificent.
have some sense of what could possibly sell. Is that something that's fucking sellable? Like that?
apparently the pre-orders are pretty high.
I was gonna say I wouldn't doubt it. I think
In
what people-
California, I think all the assholes that drive Hummers would drive that thing.
Yeah, I
and just
think-
be a pain in the dick
What
all
the
the
I think,
time.
but no,
man.
I think what it is.
It's not
people are
practical,
drawn.
of course.
No, yeah.
People are drawn to the name and the technology.
Yeah, okay.
That's what
yeah.
it is.
Oh, I got this.
Despite
baby. You don't
the
got it.
monstrosity, the look of it, just. I don't know. It seems like it'd be like a collector's item too. I don't like well, I don't think there'll be that many sold. You know, you think
It looks like the
I said, I
Phantom
think it'll be
Zone
like
on
a
wheels.
Well, what
a
it looks
collector's
like,
item.
it looks like
Car
something that's
enthusiast would
easy to
enjoy it.
manufacture. Number one, like all the panels are like square and they're all stainless steel, no paint, so you can just stamp them out and slap them on. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
it comes with an ATV. An electric ATV that you can charge off the back of it with a built-in ramp off the tailgate. That's pretty
Whee!
fucking cool. You know what I mean?
just in case your real, the truck actually dies, you can just take that fucker and just.
I think more
go
people
get
are going to
juice.
want the ATV than the fucking truck.
I bought the ATV. Just came with the fucking truck.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what I want an electric motorcycle. That's Harley Davidson makes one called the Live Wire, and it's supposedly pretty cool. Like it was featured in the Avengers: Age of Ultron. Black Widow rides it out of the back of the Quinjet.
Interesting.
So yeah, I kind of want one of those.
Speaking of going back to Elon Musk, you ever seen that Ben Stiller movie, Dustin Hoffman, Meet the Fockers?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay. Apparently, there's a one of the first Tesla vehicles on set. I don't know if that's true. I read it somewhere, and I heard multiple people talk about it.
Well, the first Tesla vehicle was a Roadster.
That's what it was. Yeah, and it was like an orange vehicle. Fuck.
It's a Roadster.
Yeah.
Was it?
got
Was it just like one color or something, or what?
No, you could get it in
okay,
any
okay.
color you wanted because there was only 2,500 of them.
Just
ever
a
made.
coupe, right? I mean,
When was the first production? I mean, was it-
2008.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So here's something. Here's an interesting piece of information for you. 2008, in Iron Man's garage, in the first Iron Man movie, Tony Stark had a Tesla Roadster in his garage.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The noise that the Batmobile makes in Batman Begins and Dark Knight before it gets destroyed is a Tesla Roadster.
Very interesting. And how does this
shit.
relate to Rodney Reed?
I don't know. We were changing the subject.
Maya.
That's very cool. Very nice.
So I was listening to episode 7, and
You said that already.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like early episodes,
Again?
like
Egotistical bastard.
Jake is like, at one point, Jake says, "Oh, this is our guest, Rob," and then you do the Brob style.
Do I do it? I think Paul does the Bronx.
No, you do the Brob
Oh,
style
the
for
Brob-
sure.
Brob
This is our guest. This is our guest, Rob Brob style.
Fucking.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that was me or whatnot.
No, that was Jake. It was Jake
Oh, really?
that did it. Yeah.
Wow, you beat me to it.
Oh, he was hammered, dude. Every
I think
5
we all
minutes.
were.
Every 5 minutes on the podcast, you hear him go, "Hey, who's getting us some more beers? We can use some more beers."
Classic Jacob.
You're at home. Fuck it. Right?
Yeah, right? Yeah, you were at
Yeah,
home.
we were at your house.
Yeah, where's the crack rock?
Fucking Marcelo was playing slide whistle in the background and shit.
Oh, fucking doing the pre what's it called?
Oh yeah, the ones you couldn't hear.
Yeah, for the distance.
We're like, oh, we have sound effects that nobody can hear.
Soundboard, you can fucking hear. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I really gotta.
PP.
Yeah.
So I think that you know we've got just a couple more episodes before the end of the year. So we're
Are we gonna have a New Year's episode too?
probably not. We're gonna do it.
Well, I mean, it's close enough. It's like a week or two.
Well,
Just
I think our
New
next
Year's episode.
I think our next episode will be our Christmas special that we'll record for, and then we'll have
special.
we'll have maybe one more before the end of the year, I think, and then we'll take a little break until after the first of the year to family obligations and things like that. So this will be episode 54.
Yes, yes, sir. And the next one's going to be the Jingle All the Way, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, and the next episode will be episode 55.
Yeah.
And
on the way.
And then maybe we could get Rachel Rocks on here.
Still working on that.
56.
I'm working on a couple more
great.
guests. I've got some friends of mine that I'm working on scheduling in.
Yeah.
So you can call me out on it. I've got if anybody's interested, I've got a friend who is currently touring and playing drums for Black Flag, who wants to come in and sit down and talk with us for a little bit.
Nice.
I've got a real touring band.
What is that supposed to mean?
And then I've got another friend of mine.
Explain
I got another
yourself.
guy who I've been talking to who was a longtime production assistant, co-host, whatever, on the Rod Ryan show.
Oh, yeah. I want to get that guy.
Rod Ryan.
I want to get that guy on.
So I've been talking to Doug. Doug Falk is his name.
Funny.
Online. So we just got to work out some scheduling stuff, and we'll get him in here.
Yeah.
Because I want to kind of talk about his time on the Rod Ryan show and how all that kind of went. And
Yeah, for sure. That'll be
Just
fun.
completely trash Rod Ryan.
he's a piece of shit. Like, it's
Rod
not hard.
Ryan.
I got a guest lined up. His name is Joshua Mueller.
Yeah. Notice Joshua Mueller has disappeared from our.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I told him this is Sparta.
That was it?
Fucking kicked him into the pit.
You kicked him in the pit.
He probably didn't move anywhere.
What?
Why are you hitting the table?
I like it.
Stop that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and then we've still got coming up. I'd like to do another. I think
Fast and the Furious commentary.
Jesus Christ, we're
I
not gonna
can't
do a whole
wait.
series.
Just the one, just the first one.
I think that we're
Best
going to do
one
some more
to make fun of.
hosting some events out at Eureka
Yeah,
Heights.
I was going to say the same thing, man.
Man, summer at Eureka Heights is just
Well,
beautiful,
this is trying to
man.
According to our
No.
inside source, they're getting air conditioning. So
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, it's
besides
fun.
the bathroom.
Yeah.
I love, like, I mean, it's just for me when we did. I don't.
Yeah,
It
because
was
I could
it
drink
was
so much
summer.
beer and not get drunk because
I mean, like,
sweating that shit out.
But like, no, but it was just saying, like, it was just. It's fucking summer and like it's a cool place to hang out and I don't know, it's just so much fun.
yeah, I mean, so
Really, like,
so our contestants that won our Double Dares challenge, have been really bugging me. They had a really good time. They want to try to defend their title at another Double Dares
Jessica
challenge.
and Eddie.
And Jessica and Eddie lost.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Sorry, Jessica, Eddie.
But no,
I'll defend you, Anna.
Parker, my stepbrother Parker, and his roommate Colton, I think is his name. I think his name Colton. Yeah, they were our champions. I'm supposed to meet with Evan when he gets back off of vacation, and we're gonna plan some stuff out for the next couple of months. We've got some stuff going on over at Eureka Heights, so.
Yeah, we should do a what's that other one on Nickelodeon? Not Double Dare, but
what would you do?
No.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
No, this is Nickelodeon. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Jesus Christ, you can build the sets for
I
that.
know, right? Let's just take them
of
out
the
back and just
fucking
fucking
Hidden-
punch them. Fucking.
Why don't we just do guts and like make them crawl up the side of the building and just throw shit at them the whole time?
Aggro
Aggro
Crag?
crag.
any item you can get, chunk at them.
Didn't they have like real Native American Indians in
Probably.
Legend of the Hidden Temple?
They
It was
wanted
very
to.
PC. I don't know.
Very
Wouldn't they
PC.
jump out and like, the ghost of
Oh
the
yeah,
temple?
that's
Yeah.
right. They would take you. Oh my.
Yeah, mine. And then the contestant would come
Mine.
back with a fucking like scalp fucking head and shit.
That didn't happen, but
No?
okay.
Bring back the ears, boys. Bring back the ears.
Yeah, so the aggro crag, Global Guts will be nice.
Yeah.
Those are only 3 main game shows that I like to think.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. I mean, we could do. I really want at some point. Maybe I shouldn't say this on air because it'll.
Why
He
not?
doesn't listen to it. I really want to trick
He don't
Justin
listen to
Laverne back on
That's fucked
for
up.
something else, and then bring up a night, like just do a whole nother
You
'90s.
hear that, Justin? This is his idea. No, I wouldn't do that to you again.
Yes, this was
fucked up.
Paul's idea. I
No,
just ran
it
with
wasn't.
Well, that's what we did last time.
Don't take my defense as making me guilty because I'm just saying it wasn't. I really got. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I guess on that note,
Yes, on Paul's note, because he calls it here.
What?
Well, because you need a PP, right?
Don't stop on account of me though.
Okay, so what else we got to talk about? No, but on that note, yeah.
on that note,
Yeah.
I think that this is a good wrap. We will check in one more time with you guys before the end of 2019, before we roll into the future of 2020. Man, that sounds. Should it be 2020 or 2020? It sounds more futuristic. To
As
say
long as
2020.
as long as Lou Dobbs make it to 2020, you know,
Lou Dobbs, eh?
Lou Dobbs, Barbara
You
Walters,
say?
2020. No,
Yeah, I got.
I know
it.
you got that because
I didn't get it.
What? Because I'm white.
No, 'cause
That's why I got it.
no, because I mean,
You
I
said it
used to
yourself.
like. It was an old reference, old joke.
Okay.
Because the age.
Oh, shit. All right.
But on that note,
On that note, I've been Rob.
I'm Jake.
And just enjoy yourself, folks. I'm Paul.
Yeah,
He probably won't be here
Really,
next time.
just please.
jingle all the way next episode, guys.
Oh yeah. I just pulled the mic stand.
Life is very difficult and very, 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 very.
Thanks for the sign off, Paul. Keep
No, I'm
doing
just saying,
that.
like, please,
All right, we've been Gentlemen No Class. We'll see you next episode.
Fuck first world.
Gentlemen No Class is proud to be a part of the HC Universal Network. Gentlemen No Class is produced and recorded at M5 Studios and is mixed and edited by Final Curtain Media.